What's up, everybody, and welcome to the last mile. And it's been a while for the last mile. And I just yesterday said, "Hey, would you like to join me?" And of course, my guest this week is the one and only Gig Funkin' Geezer. I said Funkin', by the way, guys. Don't like misquote my words.
That's right. That's right.
Josh, what's up? Blue Wow Elf, what's up? Gigwise, what's up? Bubba Sue, what's up? Traveler, what's up? Joe, what's up? And Gigan, what's up? And hey, Geezer, thank you for joining me.
Yeah, thanks for inviting me on. Somebody's already asking, where you at, old man? I'm here. I'm here, goddammit. I'm here.
Oh, wait, that's right, because I'm looking at my feed over here, but I forget there's other things coming through here. I got it.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. Okay. So yeah, guys, we're gonna talk about I got some things I want to talk about. I don't know if you guys know this or not. Geezer and I have been talking backstage for a little bit before even, by the way, Detroit. So
hey, I'm not mad at you, man. I'm an impartial observer, so you're not insulting me.
No, I know. We actually had some Detroit talk before we got in here. So.
That's right. I shared him some things about Detroit that he didn't know about. But anyway, well, he did. He did know. He did know. He was aware of some names. I just dropped some names from a different era.
Yeah, kind of overlapping, same era.
Oh, by the way, now I did not share this with you. Now I used to. In fact, I was sharing this with somebody today. James Caldwell, former Lions coach, right?
Mm-hmm.
Somebody that I dealt with on a first name basis when he was coach at Wake Forest in Winston-Salem. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So him and I went back, and I did one of the first one-on-one stories when he had his first head coaching job in 1993, and used to email him, things like that. So just another Detroit name that you know about.
All our teams are about to blow up. I know Joe, Let's Play DoorDash, is from Detroit too. He lives in Detroit, so we got one in here. And Josh congratulated me today, even though he normally doesn't congratulate me on anything. He said, "Congrats to you guys for making it."
Oh, so. Cortez Alex, hey man, Cortez used to show up on my live stream, my podcast as well.
Oh, yeah.
So
and Shane's in here. I have to flip over to the StreamYard one to see who's in here on both. So
okay,
but that's what I'm doing. And so you guys, I wanted to tell you, I didn't even tell Geezer though. Last week, so Curri has a commercial that I've played before. I've been with Curri for 5 years now. And Curri did this rebranding of like these chopped up commercials. And it was done here in Denver. The whole team flew out. I got to be part of it. I was paid to be there. I'm a paid actor now, guys.
Oh, you're on the payroll, huh? You're on the payroll.
I got a couple. I mean, I wasn't allowed to take much, obviously, but the inside stuff was us, but was me. Like, these were the outside guys. I met the guy who has done the most Curries in the country. Or for the bigger trucks. And but so here's what I wanted to show you about that. So when Alice first invited me, here's how this went. "Hello, Steve. We are super excited, blah, blah, blah." She's talking about this event, Also, can you look like this? And she shows this picture, right? I'm like, I have jeans, I have a vest, I have a t-shirt. Sure. She said, "Don't wear any t-shirt or no logos, nothing like that. Just kind of look like this," right? And so my reply was, I said, "Can I look like this? Or can I be any of them?" And if you look at the bottom, look at her answer. So that kind of wrecked it for me. I was trying to be funny, but so no.
Okay, so
but that was interesting. That was cool.
So did you sing "In the Navy" or "I Want to Shake Your Hand" or what?
No, we were all contractor village people.
Okay.
But
now you do know that Victor, the lead singer, right? He was his first wife, or Felicia Rashad's first husband, is him, Victor from Village People.
Right? Okay.
Yes, yes, man. Look it up.
Really?
Look it up. Hmm? Yeah.
I would have never guessed who any of the village people are.
Okay.
I don't think that
Okay.
I knew that. I don't think I've ever heard who any of them are.
Well, I mean, it's not much to know, but I know that those two were married at one time. Yes.
Yeah. I said Gigwise had said, and he said this when I sent a picture over. He goes, "You played the Asian guy really well." Because I sent him a video. I was able to shoot short videos, and
Okay.
but it was interesting. It was cool.
Uh-huh.
It was a full day there. Wild food spread. But I also was around the entire team, and I got to pick their ears all day, and I learned
Okay.
everything that's coming down the pipe, and I'm loving
Ooh.
it. Like I'm loving,
Okay.
and one of the things I'm loving, and I do want to talk about it's that, and because there's one thing I'm going to tell you guys I don't like that I found out. I don't like it
Mm-hmm.
all. But one
Mm-hmm.
thing that I do like that was started back in maybe March, April, was that they had almost completely eliminated their customer service team and moved to AI without AI working though. So you were all the time at these places waiting for these replies, and you're like, dude, the option wouldn't be there that you need, and there wasn't like an other,
Mm-hmm.
and so I was going through all these things, and I was like, guys, you need to fix this, you need to. But just as of recently, the AI is amazing now. Like the AI, if it's not happening in your city yet, just
Mm-hmm.
wait, because in ours, like right around that commercial, they super bumped it, and they said, watch what happens next week, and the AI just kind of took over. If you have a thing, it says we're checking into it, and the old me was like, yeah, right, I'm gonna be here like a half hour waiting to see what you tell me, and then like a minute later, it's like, okay, it will be ready in 4 minutes. Go back inside. Like they're on it now, and they're adding little other pieces of like you can still go along and add money for wait times, and yeah, it's not tons of money, but there are little things you can add the whole way. The AI is working, and do I like the fact that it's almost impossible to get a person on the phone and I happen to just know a couple people? No. But do I see the advantage of AI over customer support in India? Yeah. I'm actually
Mm-hmm.
seeing it now. And I hate to say that because I would hate to take a job out of somebody's hands, but it really does work a lot better. And in fact, I know that when you do a Curri, you're more on the bidding side. Well,
Yeah.
maybe you're on both.
No, I'm on the bidding side, and
So you
that's
make a bid. So that never was the case with us. You've seen what I get. Like I would get an offer. Do you want this?
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, now often that offer will come back, or that I'll be like, no way, I'm doing that for that. Like let's say it says like 80 miles for $75. So there's no chance I'm doing it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Instead of incrementing it up by 5, they'll text me and say, do you want this for 100? And you can immediately, and all of you need to know this, some already do. I know Josh has been using it. Josh turned $200 into 400 today. I right away text him back, and I look at the miles, 80, it should be 2 a mile, but I'll do 150. And I was like, 150, like this has been going on for a while. And they're like, done. Just to skip all those stages, they're just actually looking for the good drivers who expressed interest by looking at the offer,
Mm-hmm.
and because the clients make the offers on Curri. You know what I mean? So I actually have created a customer portal because she wanted me to see how it works from the inside.
Mm-hmm.
And so I create how much is being sent out. Now, of course, they take their chunk and whatnot, but I'm saying I want to pay just this. Like there are things up that I know are wrong. Like people were asking me about cars. I finally found they finally changed it on the website, to
Mm-hmm.
the point where it's like, let's take a look at this real quick. So look at this. So when people were asking me about this, I had no idea before because some cars fit as much as my RAV4 SUV, but the SUV says what, 800 pounds? The car says 200. But like I know Tony, the driven dad, can you take his Tesla and get as much almost as I can in my RAV4 of paint.
Mm-hmm.
We can both do about 900 pounds, and then so this is when you're selecting. These are all the options you have as the customer.
Mm-hmm.
And
Corey.
even down to this, they even do parcel, and the parcel is every option of parcel that there is for no extra fee. It's really weird.
Well, what's interesting you mentioned that some of these customers are smart where they downgrade the offers try to cut to skim on paying what they really should be paying. They have a load they're saying for a pickup truck when it's really for a box truck.
Well, these numbers are new now. These are implemented in the customer side as of last week after the commercial. So like before, it didn't say 800 pounds SUV, 200 car. So I don't know what that'll mean for cars moving forward, because it's supposed to do, if they, and most of the orders I have in my neck of the woods, they do show the total weight, the dimensions, all that stuff that I need. So if it goes under 200, it's supposed to make you jack up to the next one.
Okay.
I mean, I guess there's a lot more orders that are lower though too. Like there's a lot of $25, $30 orders that are like move a 5-pound box.
I mean, I okay. You probably see more of those than I would see. I'm just saying that at least on my side, I see where it's not just that app. It's other apps where the customers are smart, where they're trying to skimp on dollars, or they're trying to save themselves dollars by downgrading to a vehicle class below what it should be, a vehicle class or two below what it should be. And so but then again, as someone pointed out, you got thirsties that'll still grab it, man. It's gone in 6 seconds or less.
And it's funny that you say that, because like I said, well, first let me show you this too, because this is very important to do now on Curri. If you haven't before, this is mine. Make sure that you add in your capabilities and your accessories, and even taking a picture of helmet, vest, boots, and gloves, and sending it to them is huge. But then you can list it here too. It never used to care about this stuff. I had it in there anyway, but now they do have performance that shows it. Like if I don't have some of this listed,
right,
it might go to people who do first. It still might come to me down the road, but it's a lot better. Go in there, guys, set all that stuff. But here's what I wanted to show you that I do not like. So Geezer will remember that when he got on Curri, our friend Alice helped out there. And I mean, Curri, I always loved this. I love that Curri is a hard app to get on. I had Chris Barnes from Delivered on last week, and I was telling him, I said, one of the greatest things I think you guys do is the slowing of onboarding, even if it means a wait list. Totally into that. I don't think that people, I think the wait list is way better than oversaturation. And so Curri's always been that way. Well, Curri just launched this. So now you can sign. I mean, and I guess, if you guys aren't on Curri, go ahead. But what it does is it saturates my market so that, like Geezer said, the thirsties will take bad orders. Like whenever they add some people, we're already waiting for them to fall back off, all us regulars, so that we can see our normal bids. When they do something like this and say, hey, curri.com/curri-fast-track and pay $30 and we'll just stick you in there. Not a fan. I gotta tell you.
No, I mean, yeah.
And even says like skip the line here. Like they know there's a line. I don't want to pick on them too much. I just also want to be honest, though. That's not.
Well, you're in their pocket, man. So you got to watch what you say.
No, I told every one of them. I said, I mean, I actually had a good talk with Savak, and he's like their operations guy, and I'd never met him in person. And he's like, man, he's like, sometimes you dog us. I'm like, well, on the podcast, because I was like, no, I said, I'm always honest about my encounters with Curri. So if I've had to talk about bad customer service experience, I don't dog you. I'm just telling the truth about what happened. And if I didn't do that, people wouldn't respect my view on Curri. It took him a few to get there, because he knows for the most part, I have better things to say about Curri than almost every other app, because they've been good to me for 5 years. But to each their own. But this is not something I like to see, because for a long time, I know people who waited on the list for 2 years. Chris in Buffalo from the rideshare guy, Chris and Sergio. Chris waited for almost 3 years in Buffalo to get on.
Wow.
And now for $30, you can just skip it.
Well, that I'm gonna maybe I'm being the cynic. You probably know better than I do about this. I think that tells me then that they're trying to squeeze out more profit when they bring on more people. They're
They also grabbed a ton, because I learned this at the commercial filming. They grabbed a lot, the most they've ever grabbed in the summer season, where they're not really pulling them in yet, but they're getting them ready. This was their biggest season of fishing for new national clients.
mm-hmm.
So there's a bunch of new national clients about to come on Curri, and some are exclusive.
Mm-hmm.
So I know that that's a big deal too. So I do understand. Trust me. And Geezer, I'm sure you understand. Is it's a logistical nightmare trying to keep.
Right.
Do we have enough drivers? Are they available today? Are they? Who's going to take this? Do we have enough? I mean, I can say there's a far extreme like DoorDash that just sucks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, like they just
right.
pull everybody on and screw you over. But some of these other apps really don't try and do that. But as they grow, the logistical nightmare grows too.
Right, and I understand that too. That you've got to be able, part of your selling point is to say that, hey, look, we've got this plethora of drivers for this on-demand type work or on-demand service that we are conduits of providing. I get that, but I'm just talking from driver level, driver side. I also see what's gonna happen as well. I mean, when there's more exclusivity, that's when you're going to make your money. It's that simple. It's that simple.
Yeah, 100%. Hey, is everybody not hearing me well? I saw a couple comments that my volume's low. Is that low?
Blue Wolf said, Steve, can you speak a little bit louder with the volume?
Okay, I just wanted to make sure, because
well, he's coming in well on my headset. Okay, now Cortez says sounds good. Okay. Again, usually folk are complaining about my volume, my audio, and I tell y'all, I tested this shit 4 times before Steve and I started talking, so I like to think that it's good tonight.
No, yours sounds great.
Yeah, and Gig Boss Man. This ain't no fucking dial-up, okay? This ain't America Online dial-up from 1995.
So, the other thing that then I wanted to get into here a little bit was you, dude. So for the last 2 years, I'm going for the hat trick here. I have, I don't even know within what scope, but I've guessed how much.
Oh, you going there?
I've guessed how much Geezer will make like 4, 5, 6 months out before the end of the year. And I don't know. I can't do it with other people. I don't have a savantness. But I don't know how. And he said I'm on track now too. So
yeah. I call him Shaft. I just call him Shaft. Y'all don't understand what I mean by that. But if you understand how foul mouthed I can be, just listen to the song Shaft. You'll get it.
But you're on track for that number. That's good. That's great.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, things are looking a little questionable right now, but I should eclipse that number. I should eclipse that number by next month. The number that you gave.
By November?
Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm. I should. Yeah. I hope so. Let's put it like that.
But then November and December are always good months.
Yeah, they can be. You're right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But so, where are you doing most of your stuff? Where's most of your action coming from?
Ooh, good question. If I were to low board based brokered opportunities, that's number one. In fact, I completed one today. In fact, twice this week. Low board based brokered opportunities are number one. Then last mile gig delivery apps, number 2.
Mm-hmm.
Cash game 3, and gig food delivery last. What I'm looking to add to the thing, as I pointed out in the video recently, is to find contract opportunities. Haven't been able to put that together yet. Haven't been able to find the right ones yet. In fact, funny thing, I went by a place today and I described this as well, where I approached the guy earlier this year. He had me to fill out stuff, background check, piss in a cup. He called me one time, and I was completing a delivery in North Carolina when he called. I've since gone by his place 3 times, including this week. The last time he's lying through his teeth. He's got business. I know he's got business going on. Okay, I know, but he's telling me, "Oh no, man, we don't have anything. But we'll be moving to another place in November." He's lying through his teeth. So, you obviously he doesn't want to deal with me. That's the impression I get.
Like
He don't want to deal with me.
no chance he's like working with some employee drivers.
Well, he's got his staff, but then he's also got another type of situation. He does have contract situation with a couple other people, and I know them. That's the thing. I know them. So, that's the truth of the matter. But it is what it is, man. You do your thing. I'll keep doing my thing. I'll find that type of money at some point. But again, that's the thing. I want to add contract. I've talked about cash game. I've shown some cash game opportunities on my channel. Now it's finding contract.
So what is contract? Are you talking about like working long term with contractors?
Ideally being in a situation where, they can, when it's on an as needed basis, not so much as me showing up every day, 8 to 5, whatever it is, just on an as needed basis. They call me and say, "Hey, can you do this?" I'm like, "Yeah, I can do this today." Yeah.
I have a place I regular here for Curri, and it's been lately, they've just been booming. They have 3 locations. I only really hit one of them. That's their smallest one. And that's the manager for all 3 in Denver. And I see him a lot. And he was like, we've really been using a lot of Curri lately. And so he asked me, he said, because I'm there a lot. So he's like, do you, are you employed by, he didn't really understand, even though he used it, like how I worked, like how this worked. And so he was like, do you work for Curri? Is this, I'm like, no, I do hot shots for him and for other companies as well. So I'm always available to whoever can, I follow the money. And he said, he goes, cause I was adding up the bills for Curri last month, and I might be able to pay somebody to be here from 7 to 11 a.m. Monday through Friday to drive my steak bed. And he's like, would you be interested? And I was like, maybe, let me think about it. But I didn't even have numbers in my head. I had to go home and look up what a steak bed was.
Okay.
I mean, it looks just like a pickup truck with walls, kind of. But like they have one, and he was asking me, and I was thinking, obviously something like that, if I were to do it, I'd overbid it, because it's a Monday through Friday locked in thing. And so I'd want to make sure I'm being paid a lot, but I don't know. Is that something that you would like look at, or
driving their vehicles?
What would you say to somebody like that when they said that?
Well, I'd just say that, hey, I'd be open to it. Perhaps we can talk about it. Find out just how serious they are.
I mean, he's very serious, and he knows me, and I think he's had issues with some other Curri drivers.
Well,
so he's like, dude,
I mean, I guess the other thing for me would be just thinking, real quickly about this, is that I can tell him, hey, I've been in this space for X number of years. I have pieces of equipment to this point, that I can use and all. I'd give them that spiel. If it's a question of being able to get on, places that require clearance to get on, I can get on those places as well.
Sure.
So, I'd sell them on that, and then, if we start talking how much and all, then we'll see how serious he is then. That's always going to be the deciding factor with me, if the money's right. Otherwise.
What is this? The majority of freight companies hire contractors for last mile hotshot delivery. Right. What he's looking for me to do is drive his steak bed and sit around there if there's no orders for 4 hours. But when there is, go do them. And then I'm free to go at 11. I think he was just saying for all that I'm doing, I could do it in 4 hours on our truck.
Okay. Well, then if he's got a route for you to do each day, then, you knock it out and then you're done, right?
Yeah. I mean, I did a route for Curri for a while. I was trying to think when, like how much do I even say? Cause if I lock into something like that, obviously respects me enough to ask me. I don't want to offend him, but at the same time, like I got to go really high.
You got to offend him. You got to offend him, man, because you can't sell up. That's the thing. You can't sell up. So, Gig Boss Man, he's out of Birmingham. He says, "Are you driving you're driving an SUV, right?"
Yeah. I mean, when it's me, this is an offer to do a stake bed that's not mine.
Mm-hmm.
But so, like, that's the other perk too, is it would be his vehicle, his gas, his
right. So then you almost have to think hourly, probably.
Right. But see, like, here's what I was thinking. I'm starting to already think like 75 plus an hour.
That's what I'm thinking as well. Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then I started thinking, man, that's really high though, and I don't mind bidding what I'm worth. But I'm glad you're here tonight because I wanted to throw that by you and see if you thought that was too high.
No, I mean that's the number that I was thinking.
That's $300 a day. 4 hours.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, someone had told me about a tire delivery. I never got back around to doing it. I guess I'm guilty of procrastinating. But he told me about a tire delivery type opportunity. It was from 8 to 4, and he's talking $260 a day. Okay, that should give you some context right there. But hey, look, you're also taking time out of your day to be available for this guy.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's possible that it could go beyond 7 to 11. It could go 7 to 1. So there's
I did say that to him. I did say, hey, I said I'd be giving up my morning work. And I said, but in the afternoon, there's a whole nother batch around 12:31 of other things that I do too. He goes, you'd be parked here, done at 11.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, if it came to something like that, I'd say, hey, dude, if we ever go over, if it's over the 11 o'clock before I'm back with the truck and unloading, and it's like $100 an hour.
Hey,
and we're not gonna what do you call it when you cut it back to 15 minutes?
Prorate.
Yeah, we ain't gonna prorate nothing. If we go over to 11:10, you owe me $100.
He'll be finding somebody else.
Okay, but at the same time, see, that's me. I don't, even when the economy's not good or whatever, that's me holding on to my worth though.
Mm-hmm.
Because I am giving up something big. I'm giving up all my opportunities, and even on, like, if I'm feeling sick or I had to deal with some stuff the night before, I have to be there every day. This is now a commitment.
Right.
So I don't know. I wasn't trying to be a jerk about it. I was just like, dude, because I want to make sure, like, dude, this is a 4-hour thing. I need to be.
Yeah, well, I'm certain that you can handle it. Rideshare. I'm pretty.
Yeah, sure. I was just wondering if I wanted to, like, if I really want to do that.
I'm not talking about the work. I'm talking about just handling how you would negotiate with them. That's what I'm saying.
He says
no.
It was base plus weight plus mile. No, see, if I do this kind of stuff, he'll just be like, "Man, I thought you were cool." I think he's just like Geezer was saying. He's just looking for a number from me. He wants me to come in and say $75 an hour, $300 a day.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I would love to have $300 at 11 a.m. every day.
Yeah. That's a nice.
Not using my vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
So I've never drove a stake bed. I don't know, but I did do a route for Curri, and I was driving a 26-foot moving enterprise truck. That's what they rent.
Mm-hmm. So
I mean, I don't know. It's just something I'm thinking about. It's not end of the world stuff or, but, so you're still doing catering. Yes.
Yes. Whenever I see something that's worth my while, but I see very few catering orders. Your guy that you're talking about, they changed the metrics to where basically I'm an afterthought now. I mean, if I see anything, it's not worth my while. I haven't done a catering order. Shit, I can tell you real quickly, man.
You mean delivered?
Yeah, all of them, man. I rarely see. I was
never on Deliver That. I'm on Zifty and Delivered, but I was just Delivered's the one I'm interested in because they're doing some pretty cool stuff.
I've done I've done oh I mean if I've done 10, I can't even say 10, man. I mean it I did 2 last month on one app and then maybe 2 or 3 on the other. If I if I do if I do one in a week, that's news now. It used to be, man, I'd see them come all the time. I don't see anything. They changed the metrics how you qualify for, priority, and apparently they just hit the delete button on me, man. So I don't see anything.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going through something with my metrics right now with them too, and I'm trying to figure it out. But I do like one thing that they've done. So Para became gig safe,
Mm-hmm.
and is now doing some onboarding, and Delivered Tech is becoming the parent company, and they've changed the name of Delivered to Expedite.
Yeah.
And
Mm-hmm.
they have another little company called Giggy that is a partner company with Para Gig Safe.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like all these hands in the cookie jar, but we were trying to finally break it down. And like one cool thing that I really like is that they have if anybody's ever had to deal with customer service and not the AI stuff, but like actual agents, and I'm not just talking about like main level, like I need a dollar added, fix this or that, but like something in an issue with a catering order or something in real time. They don't use the out of countries that the other ones do for cheap.
Right.
They do use ones in South America, but they train these centers. And I was really surprised to learn that most of the people in these call centers, this is blows my mind, are college graduates, if not PhDs.
Wow.
And in Colombia, it's in Colombia,
Mm-hmm.
um, this is where the call center is. They have like it's like Google was back in the day. They have like a whole campus for them. They've got like English classes so that because some of them don't like the way that their English sounds.
Mm-hmm.
So they're like trying to get their dialect down more and whatnot. But these people are becoming problem solvers, like where every one of them can solve a problem. And
Mm-hmm.
so it's all coming through Delivered. But now GigSafe is starting to use them too. And they can actually answer things and add money in every one of them. You don't need to be transferred to anybody. Everybody's trained the same. They do
Interesting.
in real time. You can just boop, I need help with Frederick. They call you. Hey Steve, what's up?
I find that you're saying Colombia. I know, like with certain brokers that I deal with, they have a crew out of the Philippines. So it's all these places, but it is what it is. But um, as at least they understand. I guess you could say they understand you better than some others that have been used from other countries.
Yeah.
They
Well, I
un-
guess that I think to me, this is a big here. Let me put it this way. This is a big deal to me because I'm watching every company go down the road of AI.
Mhm.
Of course they are. I mean, I was reading this thing about white collar jobs, entry level white collar jobs being gone, not slowly abolished, but like 25 to 50% of them gone in 2 years.
Mm.
And so I was like, I'm like, this is just AI. You got to be on board on some level. But it's really nice to see a company actually devoting time, effort, and everything to support.
Mhm.
Because I feel like ever since I've gotten this gig economy, I feel like every company I work with has moved away from support.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, they weren't good when they started, but then they started failing. Then they failed so bad they just left the building,
Mhm.
or like outsourced it to wherever. And
But I kind of like in the well, uh, I'll give you example like Rhodey. When Rhodey first came onto the scene, they were based out of Atlanta. You used to be able to call Atlanta and speak with somebody in Atlanta for whatever it was, and then they changed things. And well, I can't speak for in the last 2 years, but I understand that a lot of folk have had really bad experiences with Rhodey and driver support. And Lowrider says Rhodey is by far the worst. Probably that's what he forgot to say. But there you go.
well, I mean, yeah, I mean, I don't know when I do roadie so few.
Hmm.
I do once in a while do one, but it's always seems to just be like if I'm like somewhere else in Denver and I'm trying to get back to where I want to be, I'll look, and if there's something, and it's even rare that I'll find something. I mean, there's all kinds of things in Denver,
Right.
but they just pay
No.
so bad. It's offensive.
But then again, your company, like the one you like to talk about, out of Denver. Now, it used to be you interacted with someone, but you noticed that one person was in Quezon City, Philippines. Another one said that they're in Ukraine. Another one said that they're in Dallas. So, am I right?
I don't
So
know.
there,
I don't. To be honest, I feel like I'm not sure on this, but I feel like most of them are outsourced from India.
Okay, well, I mean,
there's that ongoing joke, and
Mhm.
even the most I'm not PC, but even the most PC people I know do this joke that is, if you hear a goat, hang up.
It's not even goat, man. It's belly dancer music in the background, and it sounds like you're in the bazaar. Yeah. Yeah, that goes back 15 years that I know of when I worked in the when I did claims for medical company, man. In fact, when they would come on, because they're some of the most argumentative people as well, when I'd hear their voice, I hung up.
It's like people on the Gaza Strip running around not trying to get hit by missiles.
Oh,
what do you need, man? What do you?
He said it. I didn't.
I'm just saying, like, I don't know where they go to. Obviously, one of the comments made here is exactly what it is, that they just go for the lowest paying crap. I mean, they do it with our onboarding too, so it shouldn't shock us. Mm-hmm. Checker is the cheapest background check in the world.
Mm-hmm.
I know this from being with ParaWorks. Like, even online, whatever, there is no cheaper one in the world.
Okay.
And it fails at, like, there's some things that just fails at every time. Like if you move states between checker checks. So dude, I put out here, I'm going to let you tell me what you think of this, because I put out a question that blew me away. Would everybody not want a badge from a company that actually did the background check correctly? It's good for a year, and every year you have to upload your new documents or whatever. You have to stay in, you have to stay, if you want to use it, you have to stay up to date. And they take care of supporting any of the, like, cause like Grubhub, I'm not on Grubhub anymore, but Grubhub does a rolling check where they're constantly checking your status all the time. And it's this weird thing, but I said to everybody, would you not pay $100 once a year to have a check done that took care of all of your gig apps? It covered all of it. And it meant that it was already passed. Like a real background check company, that if there was an issue, they would call you first and say, why are you coming up in our records as living in Michigan when you're in South Carolina? And you would explain that and say, I was living in Michigan, blah, blah, blah. But this would be a company that would take that into account and say, okay, got it, done, fixed.
Well, that's okay. I'm going to give you an example, like when it comes to brokered opportunities and all.
But but before you do, nobody wanted to do it.
Okay.
Everybody was like, I wouldn't pay $100 for that. Like, you.
Yeah. Everybody wants something for nothing. And that's,
I know, but it just really hit me that, like, man, you guys aren't getting it. I know that you argue it, but you're your own business. I mean, that's a great thing, isn't
it? Well, what I'm getting at, I mean, you call them then a clearinghouse, and there's two places like that with brokered opportunities. There's Highway, and then there's RMIS. And basically, whenever your insurance comes up for renewal, that's when you got to have everything together. It's mainly about your insurance. But one of them is an issue with your ELD, your electronic logging device. If you're an exempt vehicle, you got to go through it's a big headache. But there are clearinghouses, and so I would not mind paying for a clearinghouse if it means that, all the gig apps that I'm on, I would be good. I wouldn't mind.
Exactly. As long as they all accepted the coin or the token or the
right,
whatever you were given that you passed, or like, the
right.
medallions that the taxi cab drivers have, something like
right.
that. It's like, here's my medallion for 2025. I'm good to sign on to all you guys.
Right. And See, here's the thing. I'm thinking as a business person, if you pay that, that's tax deductible. That's the other thing.
I
It's
even
something that
thought I
you can
was going
claim.
low. I was putting out 100 just to see who'd bite. To be honest, I'd pay
Well,
250.
I don't know if I'd pay 250,
I'd
but
pay
100 is
250 because Checker does wrong that much, and they handle 90% of the background checks.
oh, okay.
And so, I mean, like, if there's chance of you losing your ability forever on any given app, I mean, maybe you go, I don't care about that app anymore, but it doesn't matter. It could happen on any of them. And if it
Right.
triggers it at the wrong time, it could be your favorite app.
Right.
So I would always like to know that mine's done. Like Gary Middleton said, all of us can go and create free Checker accounts, but you can't do anything with it. You can just go in there and see a problem. And then you can't contact them because you didn't hire them on to do that check. It's so weird.
Makes more if you can get hazardous endorsement. Yeah. Lowrider, funny you mentioned about that. I started my hazmat certification and I hadn't gone back to it. That was back in like April or May. So I'm guilty. I've already paid for it. It's you do as you go at your own pace, but I have not completed my hazmat certification. Yeah. I was just thinking now, but if there's one or two central places, I think that's fine. The problem is if you get a bunch of other players involved. But I was just thinking today where I had to go. It was a major military installation where I had to deliver, and they have every place you go has a different way of clearing you to come on base. These people, I had to literally sit in line for over an hour before I got in. And when I got to the place to deliver, they basically did the same thing and even had me go through a metal detector. So, hey, I kid you not, man. But every place is different. I went to another place. All I do is show my TWIC. I go to another place. They run my background check, and I'm good for the next 6 months. This place today, they had me to bring my registration, my ID, blah 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 blah. They physically looked inside of the cab of my truck, looked in back of the truck and all, but every place is different.
I'm talking about also, this would also crack down on Facebook Marketplace sold accounts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because those pass Checker backgrounds, and then you can put your picture in.
Mm-hmm.
It's so much a joke. Like this would have to be that next level that's taking care of all that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I would pay it. I was shocked. I did like a poll, and I'm telling you, the poll was like 90% of people wouldn't pay $100 to do this.
Yeah, because they don't want to. They're not investing in themselves. They're not thinking as business people. That's the thing. They're not thinking as business folk. They're just.
It's such a small investment too in the big picture of a year.
Yeah, I mean, you make that back in a couple. Well, depending on what you're doing, you make that back that day.
I was going to say you should make that at least in a day.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that even on a bad day, $100, that's you're gonna make $100. But I just don't get it. I don't get where people are, because I even worded it very clearly. This would be a superior company that would not fail you. If there was a problem, they'd contact you before relaying the information to, because it would be you paying for it. You're the customer. You're wanting a correct background check done. They can't lie for you, but they can help you fix something before they submit it.
Right. It makes sense. It makes sense to me, again, because of, I feel like, and this is just me talking for whatever it's worth, I feel like I'm probably one of the most background check folk out there because of all the stuff that I have, all the stuff that I do. So if it means me having access to do what I need to do, then I'm okay with it. So long as it's, it's above, it's on the up and up. That's what I'm getting at.
Oh yeah. And I mean, why? And even though a Checker background check is $23, I know this from Para. That's all it is. I mean, I can't buy lunch for you and I for $23.
But what about your place? What about your place? I think it was $35 that I had to pay.
For what? Oh, for what?
For background.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, so Dispatch, some of these other ones, they all, like, some might have their own. Like, who cares? It needs to get on some. That's why I said I think the reality might be 200, 250 to be paying for it. But here's what they'd get out of it. They wouldn't have to pay anything.
Mm-hmm.
They wouldn't have to pay for that stupid background check twice a year with Checker that fails all the time. And then they deactivate somebody, wrongfully deactivate them.
Right.
And like I put into the chat, like we have a change.org petition going here. And I was telling Geezer before, because we hadn't, guys, if you haven't signed that, I at least would, all I ask you to do is go read it. If you don't believe in it, then don't sign it. But so we call it the delivery net. Bobby's in here. Bobby submitted legislation in Louisiana. We've submitted in Kentucky. We've submitted in Michigan. We've submitted in Connecticut. We've submitted in Pennsylvania. We've submitted in Oklahoma. Legislation that kind of counters what Colorado's doing with transparency. So if you click that link, you can read it. But the issue is we are submitting bills to Congress in each state since in November of 2026, all of the markets will be adopting legislation. I've talked to many people about this because New Jersey and Virginia both have big elections coming up this November, but all the rest are next November of 26 for the midterms. And with that is going to come some very clear and defining gig work stuff that they can't even get around. I've seen some of this stuff. And yet they're not aware of like not getting into the dollar amount, but just having transparency. So this DNC bill, this is the delivery one, and then we would do a rideshare one too. But we have a transparency and a protection act. We are submitting state by state, fixing full transparency, wrongful deactivations, and removing driver metrics would significantly improve the working conditions and livelihoods of DoorDash and all delivery network companies, DNC drivers. So the breakdown would be that drivers can see the full amount of every delivery up front, total, tip included, tip cannot be removed. And if it is, that's on the company. The company has to take that bite. You have to be paid in full for what you were shown. Distance, drop-off location, expected time, how it helps drivers, better decision-making. Drivers can choose deliveries based on true profitability instead of gambling on hidden tips and vague details. Increased earnings with clearer data. Drivers avoid low-paying or high-effort orders and focus on high-value ones. Fewer cancellations. Knowing full details up front reduces the need to unassign orders. Less stress and frustration. Being tricked into taking bad orders. I think we can all relate to all this. And then even where like you move down, it goes to like go through the job security. Drivers won't suddenly lose their income without cause or recourse because you would have a human deactivation board. Fairness protects against customer abuse, which, tip baiting or things like that. So confidence in the platform. Drivers are more loyal and motivated when the system has their back, even if it's not full, if it was just a little more and there was a little care shown. Reduced fear. Drivers won't live in fear of losing access to under one mistake to the platform. And then remove the driver stats. That's our next step. Allow drivers to use any and all third-party apps and remove driver tiers that grant better offers to certain drivers if they are defined as independent contractors by the app platform terms of service, which they all are. Because if you're defined as an independent contractor, there can be no preferential treatment given to any of the other contractors. You guys can go look it up in the labor law in your own state. It's in every state, but they can't.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah. I mean, these are just like, and I mean, this is what we got passed in Colorado. It took a few years. We did the town hall. I know some lawmakers. I got to know Senator Kevin Priola. I know Stephanie Vigil from the House of Reps. And so we got these kicked into two bills. Well, that's why we're submitting these other states, because they don't know about it. And then the Prop 22 team shows up and they're like, unions. And everybody's like, what? And all of a sudden 10 people are like, yeah, I want a union. And then this is very true. Then your government thinks, no, 10 people were in here yesterday and they want a union, so they must all want a union. This is truly how they think. If they don't hear from the other side, they start thinking, oh, all 100,000 of them must want to do this. No, they have no idea. And they have no idea about the free option. This is free. Because the Prop 22s get into 120% of minimum wage, active time, fake words, they get so sloppy. All I'm saying is just be honest. Don't use metrics on me. Let me look at an offer. If it doesn't make sense to me, then don't send it to me. Since we got the transparency put in here, I literally don't see as many orders in an hour. But even on DoorDash, for instance, I will take 3 of 4 offers they show me because they know what I take. They've always known. They know what Geezer takes. They know what all of you take.
Yeah, that's the machine learning part of the algorithm.
But yet, before we had the transparency, they'd send me 1,000 offers in an hour. Just to screw with my head, see if I messed up and took one, or demolish my AR, which is illegal, and all this, that, and the other. Now, I don't see as many offers, but they know that, like, well, Steve doesn't really take anything other than $2 a mile. So I won't see them unless they're $2 a mile. Like, data has become one of the biggest costs in all of this.
Yes. It's also one of the most valuable things because they'll sell that data for something else. It's a pretty valuable asset.
Well, yeah, but I'm even talking about the data centers that are processing all of these orders. Like, to send an order out 10 times to somebody makes no sense if you know that the first 9 people you sent it to, you 100% know they don't take that order. Why are you doing it? You know, like you know, they know who to send it to that's going to take it. So, like, my thought is train your algorithm, you know, because when this kind of thing does hit, like, show it that you don't take those, because data, like, these data centers are like what's taking over downtown buildings and stuff. They're actually having to get into commercial real estate now. And that's going to be a whole different game for them. I don't know if you had thoughts on that, but
well, my thought again. Well, I'm just thinking, like, well, we're talking about one of the apps with how they've changed the metrics and all. If they can get rid of the metric, guess what? I probably see some orders again because I would not be shut out. It would be a matter of whether whether I'm available or I'm closest, whatever the case may be. But then I think it also goes back to if you get rid of the metrics, then it becomes survival of the fittest. Who's the biggest and baddest?
Which is what it was before the pandemic. Closest to the pin gets the job.
Right. I think they also placated the bellyachers, the crybabies. Because they're like, well, we're taking all these orders and I'm not making any money. Can you do anything about it? Fuck you, man. I mean, you took them. That's your problem. Shit.
I mean, so I see that so not going to work. It worked here in Colorado. We have it. But I mean, that's why this saves the state's other money. So you're saying metrics are completion and on time. So, like, one of the areas that I was getting into is, like, with catering orders. I do understand where you need to be at the catering order to pick up the catering order on time. If you don't do that, even if that was your own client and not handed to you by an app, they're never going to hire you back. So if you're late, you'd be fired from catering. So there might be a metric or two, but I'm talking about, like, acceptance rate or this or that. Like, I mean, this is just ridiculous.
Well, going back to the catering thing now, see, there are extenuating circumstances. They also going to measure you for getting to the drop-off location on time. But if you're at a place where, it's taking them forever to get it together, now you've got to go back and explain yourself to them that, hey, this is what was going on. They may change that metric. They may not. I've seen it on one of the apps where they changed it, but then it would change right back to what it was before. Yeah. So it's always still the driver's fault. That's kind of the way it seems when it comes to gig apps. Ultimately, it's the driver's fault regardless. Maybe I'm being a cynic about it.
No, you're correct, because, like, Delivered gets most of their orders. We'll just use EasyCater from EasyCater. So Delivered has to report to EasyCater, and unlike the other catering companies, Delivered buys batches. Expedite now buys batches of orders, and they will get it dispensed. The other ones are like, we'll try. And if they don't, they that's when one might
bounces. It bounces. Yeah, it'll bounce around. Right.
But with Delivered, they have a contract where whatever you give us, EasyCater, we will take care of in-house. So they have people who are ready to do emergency runs and things like that. So there's people in place. But yeah, I mean, like, so really, like, if I go pick up an order and it's a $2,000 order and it's only giving me that same half hour to go deliver it, and even if it's only a mile from the pickup to the delivery, loading it into my car And then if I have to go downtown Denver, a lot of times that means going into an underground parking lot. And these days there's a lot of security. I mean, in those big buildings, a lot of times, like the delivery time is over and I'm still standing in line with my ID to get a badge to go upstairs.
Yeah. I did if I may add, I did a delivery in Charlotte, downtown Charlotte, in a bank building, and it was almost like going to Boeing in Charleston, where they literally had me to stand outside my van. They look under the hood, look inside, run a mirror up under the van, and then I was allowed to go to the loading dock area.
Mm-hmm.
This shit does happen. Yes.
Yeah. I was at a place that was I know downtown well, but it was like one of our bigger buildings downtown. I was in there, and I had to go up to the 23rd floor, and I had to use one of their carts. I had a big delivery, and there was some detector when I came through that was like infrared or something, but all she did was say, "Here, give me your ID, and just sign that there's no bomb in your car."
Yeah,
and I was like, and just between us, I mean, because if I'd have joked like that there, I'd got thrown on the ground.
Yeah.
But I mean, between us, like, if I did have a bomb, I'm going to tell you I don't.
Right.
And I'm going to sign that piece of, no, I don't have a bomb.
Right, then boom.
It's not like somebody's going to go, oh, you know what? I actually do have a bomb.
Yeah, and Steve did a bang-up job that day.
So I hear you, and even picking up some orders, like you might be a minute away from the delivery. It's that close. It's a half a mile. You pick up the food, and now you're sitting in the other lot for a half hour, and you can't deliver till 10 or 15 minutes before. So at that point, that's really weird to me too. Like, I don't think there should be any kind of weird in the middle room. Because once you pick it up, I have never been to a place where I don't walk in and say, "Hey, I'm here. Would you want the food?" They don't ever say, "No, wait 15 minutes out in your car." Ever. They're always like, "Yeah, bring it in." It's not like they're like, "You're here early." I've never had that happen to me once.
All right. See, here's some Josh was saying. If we're 5 minutes after the drop off is considered late, why the pickup time is 15 minutes before they're late? So that 15 minutes, I'm just fucked because of some bullshit rating. Yeah, there you go. Again, it falls back on the driver. It's like it's the driver's fault, regardless. And then you're having to explain yourself, and they don't change the fucking metrics in the process. So you're, like he says, you're fucked.
Yeah,
they don't change them.
No, in fact, he's saying the same thing up here. 90% of my deliveries undelivered are exactly what I just described. Waiting on the loading dock.
Right.
I mean, some aren't. The smaller ones aren't. But when you get up into the triple dollar payment ones, they are.
Yeah. Depending on where you go. Yeah.
So, okay. So, I mean, like, okay, look, I have had delivered on many times. I've had their CTO, their CEO, all this. I do have this ready. I wasn't sure I was going to show up. I'll show you guys. I'm going to show you guys my Emerald score, because the two that matter the most are on time to the pickup delivery and the bail count. Your bail count should be 0. That's how many that you had. Like with delivered, you can 3 hours or more out, you can bail on it for free and they'll get it out to somebody else. Within that, it goes into your bail count, and they all reset every 30. But my other metrics haven't moved in a minute. And he kept telling me, don't worry, they don't really hurt you. But they do, because
you don't see nothing.
I'm an 88 Emerald, and the two metrics that I have the best: on-time pickup 100% in the last 30, bail count 0. He told me response rate doesn't really matter, and he told me on-time delivery, because that on-time delivery is before they integrated this system. And even on my podcast, they had said, well, we, just take a picture with your phone if you're early. This is back in the day. So a lot of my orders were done. And then when they integrated this system, they were just like, you're an F-. I'm like, dude, why don't you start us all at 100? Since you're changing the rules here.
Well, you see, I'm at an F-. Let's see here. If I were to, let's see, the Emerald status, I'm at 65%. My on time is at 70%. I don't recall. My on-time delivery is 56.67. My response rate is 80.34 and bell count is 1. So I am at F minus according to this. So that's why I don't see anything probably. And I don't give it. Well, quite honestly, I am not missing them. That's why I don't talk these apps by name, because these guys are one of them in which folk like me gave them attention at one time. and and I used to be able to talk to certain people there on a first name basis and get a hold of people. Now I'm last century's news, man, and I'm being treated like last century's trash. So, they can do whatever the fuck they want. And you can tell them they do whatever the fuck they want.
Well, I mean, they are to me too. I mean, and when he says, don't worry about response rate and on time, because he knew all those on times that show 60 were every one of them. I was there before. I wasn't late on any. They were all before. They were before 15 minutes, but it was also before it was integrated into the system.
Okay, that's your last. Now, lifetime. They ain't no better. I mean,
but then look at this too. Like, here's something that just between us. Like, okay, so they say it's out of the last 30 deliveries. Maybe they didn't know any better, but here's my thought process. If we're working on a percentage, and because they have this thing where they tell you, hey, and this is true, the 30th one that you're bumping off could have been a bad one. So if you have another bad one, you could go down more than you think. I get that. Makes sense. But if you're doing out of 30, why not do out of 25? Because then each one is 4 points. You know what I mean? Like, it's very easy. You wouldn't have 64.06. Like, I can't figure out how you got there. Like, I've tried all the different combinations and I can't get to 64.6 on 30 using a 30 metric. Right. So I'm like, how does that work?
I don't know, man.
Look, and again, like I did have to tell him recently, I was like, by the way, my response rate and my on-time delivery, the last 5, I know for sure I've been on time. I've waited within the 15 minutes. So it should be going up. My response rate hasn't moved in the past 20. And I just told him about it today. He happens to be out of country, but I told him about it today. I said, hey man, my response rate hasn't moved in 20. You said it's reset on the every 30. Like, because mine should be like 90% now. It's just very strange to me.
MVN, hey man, thanks for saying that. Been watching me since 2021. Well, actually, you know what? This week is 4 years that I've been doing YouTube uploads. The YouTube channel, the Gig Geezer channel, has been live since September 30, October 1st, 2021. So thanks, man. Thanks for checking me out.
Yeah. Have you never seen him on your channel before?
He says he's been checking me out. I don't recall seeing any comments or anything like that. But hey, you got folk that have never commented.
Oh, yeah.
But they've checked you out, and then I've had folk to come up to me. I've come a long way. Hey, thanks. Thanks.
Yeah,
he's seen me start out in 2021. So then he saw me doing deliveries in the Taurus and in the F-150, and then to the van, and now to the Geezer 16. So yeah, and he's seen me evolve from doing gig food delivery, talking about working the gray areas of gig food delivery, to doing primarily delivery and transport now with the load, with the brokered loads and the load boards. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
ship it. Oh man, I've done 17 deliveries on that app since 2020. I haven't attempted one in almost 2 years now. The thing with those guys, they'll tell you up front they don't encourage their customers to tip.
And, well, you got to get them preferred.
Well, I don't give a fuck, man. I mean,
no, I never got any either. I did Shipped, and I onboarded to Shipped and Instacart in December of 2021. I only did it for 2.5 months and stopped. But I did have a little luck in the very beginning. But I think they had a national outage where half the people got ousted. All you had to do is call them. I never even called them to get back on.
Right. Now, here's the thing. He's talking about setup time, 100 order. Now, here the thing is too, Easy Cater. This is just my theory and my theory only. Maybe you can confirm this, Steve, but Easy Cater dictated a lot to how we are paid these days. When Deliver That came out with this new pay schedule, then you notice the difference with the other apps as well. How it's changed. But then again, yeah, I'll just leave it at that. Easy Cater's had a lot to do with how we're being paid.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, I'm not sure where the Easy Cater Zifty thing comes together. I've heard a few different stories, and you know me, I try and track down leads, stories, everything I can. They cover it up pretty well. Something's going on with Zifty. Not only is it the bot app, like you have to have a bot if you're going to do well on Zifty, and if you do, you can do well. But
yeah, all right.
But I'm not going to do one. So it doesn't matter if you can do well or not. I'm not going to use a bot. You have to give them personal information.
Right.
You're putting yourself out there if you do.
Covering one of the Spurs games. I don't recall talking about covering a Spurs game in VM, but I can give you a Spurs story in that. Let's see, 1988-89 was my first. Well, somewhere in there, 88-89. Larry Brown was the coach of the Spurs. He was the coach before David Robinson came there, and Larry actually recruited a high school classmate of mine at UCLA, and he remembered a kid that he recruited from my high school. But the Spurs story that I could talk about is the former small forward Terry Cummings. I interacted with him when he first came to San Antonio. That's pretty much the extent of my San Antonio Spurs stories. But I'm pretty sure that if you can come up with another name, I can probably rattle off that. But the Gentle Giant, you're talking about David Robinson? Yeah, probably that's what you're talking about. But anyway. Yep. Zifty is a bot app. Yeah, you're right. A lot of the funny thing about it is,
I mean, it is. I can get one once in a while, but they're like $20. But then I see $150 ones dropping down, but they're gone. They're gone.
Yeah.
You can't even get, if you hit it, you can't get in there. I've had Josh, who's in here, and others say you have to have a Zifty phone.
Bobby,
Zifty phone.
Bobby, I've been around, but then again, I will tell you this, that YouTube doesn't push my channel like it should. YouTube has pretty much killed my channel for the last 2 years. So you just have to, just come through and check out the Gig Geezer channel on your own, man. I haven't done a I'm speaking segment since July, and that's just been by choice. But I'm still out here. I'm still putting out videos. I put out one a couple of days ago. I'll put out one probably in the next couple of days. Yeah, I'm out here.
You never broke your grind. Why did you fall? Why would you have fallen off the
YouTube algorithm? Yeah. Because I didn't put out the bullshit that other people were putting out. I didn't give the answers to the fucking test. That's what it amounts to, man. When everybody was out there, hey, yeah, hello, like David Lee Roth, I'm just a gigolo type act. I've not done that. I've been basically the same person.
I hear you, man, because I'm the same way, man.
I've been the same person.
Yeah. Right. And then people don't come around. It's like, are you not coming around because I'm being honest?
Well, that's pretty much that's what it is. And then you don't give the answers to the test. That's what it's all. YouTube pushes out there. It'll give you questions like, "Hey, do you want to check this out?" And then they see enough of me, they're like, "Fuck Geezer, man. This old fucker. He ain't give me no answers to the test. Fuck him." So, but since October 2023, that's what happened. I had this one stretch where I was like one of the hottest channels out there, and then I noticed since October 2023, and it's getting worse and worse now. But, I still keep putting content out there because I'm kind of being true to myself in that I'm those who are serious, they're going to check it out. And I'd like to think that I've helped people with the insight that I've given. It's not just about showing me showing that I'm talking to this person saying, hey, I'm here for this order and all that stuff. I'm giving some nuggets on how to stay in business as well. Yeah, I still show, deliveries, but I've always shown the end part, not the beginning part. So, you know, I mean, the proof is in what I've done. I'm still around where some people have ventured off to doing other things with their content because if you really pay attention, if they're venturing off doing other type of content, that means that they don't have anything to show, or they figure that this is their way of making money still on YouTube. I can tell you that
following trends, clickbait.
Right.
I mean,
I can tell you that YouTube don't account for shit for me. I mean, YouTube accounts for like 1% of the money that I've earned this year. 1%. Steve knows how much money I've made so far this year. That should give you a clue.
Yeah, I'm probably right there with you. Mm-hmm. I mean, I do this out of the love to do it, but I mean, like a little something comes in, but it is definitely. I will tell you something that's coming around that's pretty cool though. It doesn't bust down on some of what you're talking about, but they are going to be having a huge crackdown on demonetizing AI channels. Mm-hmm. That's a huge deal that's going on right now. They do not want you creating fake channels and then saying, hey, make me 60 videos mm-hmm. and letting AI do it. And so even voiceovers, they're going to get pushed back down. I was hearing some of these new things. So there's something, even in the audio podcast world, there's something about the human voice. Mm-hmm. And even like the inconsistencies saying, like the words you're never supposed to say, like that's better than having a bot do it.
Right. Right. Well, I mean, but even then, as a human, you're still gonna. I think it's the editing process, though. I've tried to be, articulate what I do. I think if people talk to me in person, they can find that I'm really the same person as you see here. But I mean, I like to think folk appreciate authenticity, but I don't know. I mean, this is a conversation I had 15, almost 20 years ago with people on a different platform, but I hope that people appreciate it. I hope they do. I'll just leave it at that. Yeah, maybe Steve does. Maybe Steve does because
I do because that's all I like though. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like not to be mean to anybody, but even a lot of people I know, I don't watch their content because I don't need to see how to put a bag at a door. No offense, guys. Mm-hmm. I mean, if you're doing you and you're making some money on YouTube, I'm not gonna.
Yeah, I ain't mad at you. I ain't mad at you. Do your thing.
But I'm not gonna watch your videos though.
Yeah.
I mean, I got no reason to watch how to do anything at all on DoorDash. I worked with Para. We fought DoorDash. We knew the inside of their company, their API, how it attached. We were scraping data. Look, DoorDash and I hate each other, and you can't tell me anything about the damn app. So I got no reason to ever watch anybody's channel on. This is what you need to know. I already know all the scumbaggery going on with this company, and it's
Web3 blockchain. I don't know about Web3 blockchain, but what YouTube loves to push fluff content that is no real value because of all the flashy titles. I would rather watch the video with valuable information, regardless of how it looks. Well, there you go.
That's why you're here.
Oh, regardless of how it looks, right? See, y'all, it says.
I'm just saying, like, I don't have like any kind of craziness going on. I got a background setting for us, and we're talking.
Well, I was going to say it says old school. I showed this to Steve. It says old school thing. It's actually got a picture of a boombox, and then it says you wouldn't understand. But anyway,
Tim hates DoorDash even more than me. I don't know that though. Like we really did have some fallouts with DoorDash, and we went to court with DoorDash.
Yeah, he's talked about that. It was pretty bad. Yeah, pretty bad.
It's not funny. So, but so can you say the number before we start to kind of wind it down, wrap it up, like of what you think you might hit this year, or do you not want to put it out there?
Oh shit, I can tell what it is.
I want to remember what I said.
Well, see, you going back and forth with me about this. I actually typed it in when you came up with that number. Okay,
I typed it in somewhere too.
Steve said early this year, and I got it down. There was two people that commented. Steve said 117,346. That was his number,
and we something. Okay, but
and we're joking like Price is Right. He was talking about maybe I should go $1, but no, he actually was going with the higher number, and I'm at as of today. Well, I already did one video where I regarded going over 6 digits, but as of today, I'm at 103,250 for the year.
So let's
Yeah.
say that you do hit that number. The last
Mhm.
3 years have pretty much,
I've
I mean,
been,
give and take a little bit.
yeah.
But you're pretty close every year, right?
No, well, this year is actually a better year.
Okay, but okay, so more to my point, even through all the harsh changes of these apps, you're making more.
Because
Fine, I
of
know that it's not easy, but you're
no,
finding a way to do it.
right, and that's what that's what I've been saying a lot in my videos. I'm always talking about finding different options. I'm trying to put myself in a position of different options because that's what it requires of you. Now, of course, I've also evolved in terms of equipment. Not everybody's going to do that, but I've also evolved in equipment. As I
Yep.
shared, I've gone from Taurus and F-150, and I've since added, first it was the big move with the van. Last year it was the Geezer 16.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully next year will be the Geezer 26. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The Geezer 26, we're talking a completely different world.
The 16 is a box truck too, though.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know, but
right. But that's probably for me, right? That was the game changer what the van was for me. Because it's put me in what I've said years ago was about size equals money.
mm-hmm.
I'm not going around telling everybody go buy this. You've never heard me say go buy anything. I've never said that. But in order to stay in this business and thrive, I will say that one must evolve. Evolve however way you have to evolve, but do it within your capabilities. Don't try to keep up with the Joneses. Just do it within your capabilities.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, branching out into anything. I mean, I always say keep your eyes open. It's not just apps and stuff, guys. Just keep your eyes open about you.
Mm-hmm.
There's work everywhere, man. I mean, I know everybody says there's no work, but there is work.
There is, there is. It's just that, I mean, of late, within the last couple of weeks, what I'm sensing though is I'm sensing something else that's happening. There's this market shift that's happening again. And this time, I mean, I think a lot of it has to is the impact of the economy and all this crazy shit that's going on this year. How about my expenses year over year? Actually, my expenses have come down year over year, and that's something I talked about as well. Like my personal overhead has come down by a little over $3,000 a month. And I've shared
the vehicles are paid off.
Well, the box truck was paid. I paid for cash on that. I'm still paying on the van, but it's just overall my personal expenses. No, I brought that down by since January 2023. I brought that stuff down by over $3,000. I had a video out earlier this year where I said I was going to improve my cash flow by $2,000 a month. Improving the cash flow meant bringing down expenses $2,000 a month by paying off a couple of vehicles, which I did. My daughter's vehicle, and then I sold the Taurus at a very small profit. But then my insurance has come down. Things like that had contributed to the $2,000 a month, which I came out and said I think within the last week or so. Shit's come down. I'm putting myself in a position where I am absorbing some of the market changes. As income has fluctuated at least this past month. So year over end expenses, like I said, it's come down. They have come down, and I think maybe some in part is because being smarter with what I'm doing. We can always talk about lowering our expenses, but when you do your taxes, you want to be able to show some legitimate write-offs. And one of your main write-offs is going to be mileage. It just so happens,
bank, man.
It just so happens again that I have other legitimate write-offs, like I have an office rental. And I give you the number. That's like $3,600 a year.
That you claim from your house?
No, office. No. Office. Little actual rent.
Designated. Okay.
No, actual rent. Where I have an office downtown. Yeah, I've had office downtown since 2017. Okay. So, things like that. Not everybody have that. That's the thing. Not everybody have that. So then when it comes to home, you have to designate, like they usually say about 25% of your home should be whatever your home value is. 25%, I think, is what you use. I've done that in the past. So anyway.
No, that's
I'm not a tax man, but I just shared you some things that I've done. As a tax man, doing my taxes, and I can tell you that I've not been audited over the last 20 years.
yeah. I mean, these days, like we can also throw our tax returns into AI now.
Well,
I mean,
okay,
no,
okay.
you can, and you can actually say like, I mean, just make sure you're doing it on like, make sure you're doing it
Right. Bobby
relocated,
says,
whatever.
okay, buying a house. Yeah. Actually, when it comes to buying a house, they rather for you to be a W-2. That's the thing with when you're buying a house. Somehow as a 1099, unless you've got a right credit score, you're almost better off being a W-2. What helped me out, at least a couple years ago when I went through certain things, was having the right credit score walking into Bank of America. Because I'll tell you, at the time I had a 750 plus FICO score. I got my shit like that. Okay. If you don't have the right FICO score, then you run into your problems. Am I eating better and or meal prepping on the road? I don't. You know what? I don't do over the road stuff, Lance. I do mostly local and regional. And the few times I do go over the road, I don't eat like what you think. I kind of eat like a bird on the road because I'm trying to get back home the next day.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, guys, that's I just wanted to check in with Geezer. I mean, like, look, everybody, this is one of the worst years I've seen from people telling me like, dude, but I guess I do think almost every single person in the gig app space, no matter what level it is, you have too many eggs in the DoorDash basket, period. And I'm going to pick specifically on them. Too many people count on DoorDash for whatever reason. Stop doing that.
Mm-hmm.
DoorDash is not your friend. It's bad for you. It's it's not healthy, guys.
No, but everybody's doing it. I
know,
but here's
start reducing your use of it. Find other things because it really is. I see what people are doing, and it's horrible.
I said that shit 4 years ago, and people are like, "Oh, man, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. DoorDash, or Uber Eats and all." I said back then, man, y'all better get on as many apps as you can. Look at the geezer. You look through my archive, man. I was saying it back then.
Oh, I know you were. The first times I talked to you, even like that's one of the bonds we had. I'm like, man, I never really liked food. I did ride share and then went to B2B and some other things. And
well, yeah, it
just wasn't for me, it wasn't. I always knew that. I mean, look when it boomed. It boomed
right
in May, June of 2020. Of course it boomed.
And of course, everybody boomed. Yeah, everybody did.
And you knew that was going to have a death, though, too. We all knew that. We didn't see where it would tip, but it tipped a long time ago.
Yeah, I would go as far as saying 2022, early 2022 was when it really began that precipitous tailspin. But even then, folk were still convincing themselves otherwise. What someone said about having a business sense. Not everyone has a business sense that come out here. A lot of folks just have hustler mentalities, and I've talked about that as well. When all you're looking for is just that next moment. I get it, man. I have to remind myself I have to remind myself that when you think as a business person, you have to play chess and not checkers. You always have to think 10, 15 moves ahead. It's not fun. It can be stressful. But if this is what you choose to do in the delivery and transport space, you have to think many moves ahead as best as you can.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. I see Christopher Taylor. He's in Mesa, Arizona, I know, which falls into that Phoenix market, Phoenix, Tempe, Mesa, all that. And he's talking about Spot. Have you seen these 5-foot things, these new DoorDash robots?
No.
They're red. They do 20 miles an hour. They ride in the road. So I started having these. First of all, they're supposed to be the advancement of the cooler, but it's like, it looks like this big red round thing with eyes on it. So now kids are really going to chase them into the road. But I was like, go ahead and put that. You know what? Like, what do you like? We all know this is all fake. It's all way off in the future. But what are you trying to prove? That you can make it work in Tucson? Bring it here to Denver. You show me it working in the ice and snow and freezing cold.
Oh, right.
I'm just saying, like, what is the point to, like, is it a scare tactic that's not coming anytime soon? Because some markets can just laugh and go, I dare you to bring those here.
It might get robbed.
Well, you would get frozen. I mean, literally, they'd get frozen to the ground.
Okay. But I'm just saying,
their little wheels are just like they're like stroller wheels.
Okay. Well, they'll try to invest and improve it as well. I mean, but
I know, but like, why do you keep doing it in like LA and Tempe and like going? It's going. No, it's not. Like like everybody's like Waymo's in Denver now. Really? Because I opened the app. I tried to summon a Waymo. I couldn't. I had to go to their website, and guess what? Their Waymo is in Denver. There are 7 of them. And for the next 6 months, they have a driver in them. They cannot take any passengers, and they're only allowed to map the city, and then they can apply to see.
Here's something that I got. One of the articles that I kept, and I'm going to answer your question, Lance, before Steve runs me off. There's an article from the San Francisco Chronicle from within the past week where a Waymo driverless car was stopped by Bay Area police during a DUI operation because they saw it kind of because it was doing a little wobbly shit there, and they got pulled up. But unfortunately, because it's California law, they couldn't do anything about it. They could not ticket.
Same in Arizona. Same in Georgia. You can't write true autonomous vehicles that don't work a ticket. You can't.
Mm-hmm. Not yet. In California next year they can, but not yet. So how is the maintenance of the van? Okay, for me, Lance, the van and truck. Well, just this week I replaced the radiator in the Geezer 16. That was $380. But I mean, I got to do an oil change this weekend in both the van and the Geezer 16. Brake chains, I did that last year. The transmission was looked at by the guy when he did the radiator on the Geezer 16. Transmission's fine on the van, but brakes last year, I had a brake job. I had some brake work done on the 16 back during the summer. So I'm always up under the hood of my vehicles because that's my money.
Yeah, I mean, Christopher Taylor in Mesa, he's been at the mercy of Waymo the longest because Phoenix has had him the longest.
Yeah.
In fact, I remember not long ago, and for years, people were taking cinder blocks, standing over bridges and dropping them on the highway.
Instead of putting the cars on cinder blocks, you're just dropping them.
Yeah, they're on the overpasses, like going, here comes one, ready, go. You can kill somebody that way.
Yeah, you're right. It says a bunch of Waymos got stuck in flooded areas in Phoenix last week, stuck with passengers in them.
Yeah. I mean, there were 2 Waymos with passengers in them in your area, Chris, about a week and a half ago that hit each other.
Wow.
How does that happen?
And there was nobody in the passenger seat, so these were truly autonomous, right?
Yes, but there has to be a W-2 driver behind them, monitoring them and able to do the kill switch.
Well, obviously he didn't react fast enough.
Yeah. True Autonomous. By the way, Levi Spires and I did a breakdown on True Autonomous. Waymo's in their current condition. Their Jaguar I-Pace. That's about an 80, 90 grand. They ship them out. Then you need the entire $130,000 AV kit from Waymo, which includes the LiDAR, which only has a 3-year life, costs 80 grand. Then you need to install it, which is another 70 grand. So you're at about $300,000. Then you need a W-2 employee, service on them because people throw up in them. They do drugs in them. They have sex in them. They break cameras. And so I even got to the point of, dude, if you guys aren't cleaning these in between every one, how do you know some junkie didn't shoot up heroin and leave a needle on the seat and then a baby sits on it?
Wow. You know what? Those are valid concerns, because if it's a human person, like when I used to do rideshare, I cleaned out my vehicle every day, and then after somebody got out of my vehicle, I had disinfected. I was spraying my car. As soon as somebody got out, I was spraying my car.
I'm the same way, and I would have gone into the bag, make sure they didn't leave anything.
Right. And that actually happened to me one night where some folk, what happened was they went somewhere. I picked them up from a hotel, took them to this place on the east side of town. Apparently they bought some drugs, right? Took them back. And apparently they left the drugs in the car, and they were calling me up, threatening me to come back and all that stuff. And I happened to look, and they did leave something in the back seat, and I'm glad that I was able to get that shit out in time. But I didn't know, I wasn't thinking, like I should have. But anyway, that shit does happen. You're right.
Yeah,
Let's see. Front wheel hubs, dude. Gig wise, man. I replaced my I end up having. I did a video in 2023 where I had a wheel bearing to go out when I was on a opportunity, and then end up having to replace both front wheel bearings last year. So I'm good with the van with that shit. Yeah. Got calls today after registered DOT. Yeah. That didn't answer anyway. Well, thanks, PRS, JDS.
So
the problem with us humans is we take things too far. Let's make a car. Okay, now drive yourself. Yeah. You're right.
I'm telling you guys, like I don't know if you guys remember, like a year ago, Tesla said, hey, we're going to start selling Teslas, and while you sleep, it can go do rideshare for you. Really? Like, first of all, dude, like, I don't want my car showing up like it's been at the nightclub all night. Ready to take me to work, and there's like a bottle of Jack falling out the door and stuff. And like,
hey, now this is a story that I shared with Steve before we started. I remember I told you about the story in Houston years ago where I was a struggling college student at Texas Southern, and I hustled as a cab driver. And I told him about going inside the loop where the guy asked me, did you know where Crack House was? And I told him no. He says, oh, don't worry. I know where one is. And ultimately, we came back to the starting point. He says, well, do you do crack? I'm like, no, good. Don't do it. Can you imagine something like that with a Waymo ride where a guy, tries to get Waymo to take him to a crack house? Okay.
Well, not only that, he's going to tell it to wait, and he's going to smoke the crack in it once he's done.
Yeah, he's no
break the camera so it doesn't watch him.
Right. There's no interaction. Right.
I mean, honestly, I just see so many bad things. The biggest thing that was going on in San Francisco was they were having to follow these routes, and so it was taking a long time. It was like a bus stop, so sometimes it couldn't get you to your exact house, but it would get you 4 blocks from it. But the routes were long, and people were taking these to have sex in them.
Wow.
They were leaving the club and having sex in them, and then just almost even maybe having it come right back to where it was. It was just
wait a minute. Was it were they parked or while they were moving?
No, they would take it as a trip, but they might even just say, "Take us on the whole 40-minute circle. Just bring us back here."
I'm not gonna comment on that one. I'm not gonna comment.
I mean, again, what I don't get about all that is there's a person on every one of these vehicles watching a monitor.
There's some. Oh,
why
that's right.
Are you not right. Like going, hey, I'm going to pull this car over and have you arrested?
Oh, but they're not supposed to make any interaction. Oh, then what are they doing? What are they doing then? Are they watching? Are they videoing?
I don't know. I do know in California. I don't know the law in Arizona.
They're cheap. They're cheap thrill.
It's one person per 4 Waymos. So there's one person responsible for 4 vehicles.
Okay. So then if he's not in that car and he happens to monitor and see what's going on, does he go over to that location or catch up with them? Or
no, they're at a brick and mortar location.
Oh. Okay.
That's why they can't even get these things to pull over for the police. The police have called like Cruise and Waymo and stuff and been like, yo, like stop your car. Every time I get up to it, it takes off again. And they're like, oh, we can't. Like, if there's no kill switch on this thing, what is going on here?
Well, you know what? If they in the wrong place in the South, they'll stop it.
Yeah. I mean, look, it's a $500,000 car. So the other portion of my question becomes, there's $2 and $3 Uber rides right now, and that's why the drivers complain. How are you ever how are you ever, even if some of the costs come down, how are you ever going to make money on a $500,000 Waymo car?
You
doing rideshare that has parts that break every 2 to 3 years. That are $80,000 a piece.
Mathematically speaking, I mean, I guess you're trying to play the volume game, but goddamn, that does not even make it. Really doesn't make any sense when you think about it. If you're doing those $3 rides, if you're saying the car costs like 300,000, you got to do 100,000 rides. Are you gonna get 100,000 rides out of it?
Yeah, and you're not gonna. I mean, I know right now that maybe they do a little, and all these cities taunt, like Atlanta taunts, like, oh my gosh, everybody wants to take autonomous. Well, let's remember, Atlanta has 15 autonomous vehicles, so you have like a 3-hour wait time if you request one. So of course it's always going. There's no scalability. Like, it's not even a percentage is Waymo, and then all the rest are real drivers.
Well, if you ever been
there's like some call for Waymo.
Well, if you're in Atlanta, you know about Atlanta traffic. Good luck. Good luck.
Yeah. Lowrider, thank you. And I think we were just winding up here. By the way, we always have this intro out that we do. And the last time, no, I told you, right? I showed you this. The last time, even though like Geezer and I were talking, we don't make a ton on monetization of YouTube at all anymore, but I found this to be the coolest thing ever because not every band would do this. But it said splitting revenue with, and it's like no strike. It was cool. It just showed that green arrow break, and it said with Parliament Funkadelic.
Yeah, you know what? I was able to fight them on that. I was able to fight them. They tried to do that to me, and I was able to fight them, and I got full revenue for whatever that was worth.
I just let him have it. I was like, whatever, man. Like, I don't use it much. So when I do, I'm like, man, cool. It's like George Clinton's getting some of this. That's fine, man.
Yeah. All right.
So as we get out of here, you guys, maybe don't just bounce right out. I know it's late. But Geezer, thank you for your time. Always a good conversation.
Funk around and we found out.
Yeah. And you guys make money out there. You know, don't be out there for 15 hours a day. Be out there when you can earn. Try other things, mix it up.
Yeah, you run a business. You run a business, not a charity.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely the time for change, and AI is going to be making some heavy changes too, which means a lot more people entering this space, even more. So with that, we'll leave you with this tonight.
Okay.
Something's missing that I need. Whatever it is that's blowing in my mind, this friend, they say, bring up a child, and the way he shall go, he shall not depart. And oh, when they said, oh, she touched my heart, yeah.
For letting us come into your mind tonight. Until the next time.